Good afternoon. Welcome to the first performance of the Singers Program at the Steans Music Institute. My name is Alejandra Ballarino Boyer, and I am the director of the Steans Institute. During the summer, 60 fellows, musicians in jazz, piano and strings, chamber, and classical voice come here to Ravinia to further their artistic development and study with an incredible roster of faculty members. We're excited that you are here at the start of our Singers Program. We have many more performances and another master class during this month. There is a lovely schedule in your program book here, so I hope that you will take that with you and that we'll see you again later on this month. I'm also really excited that we get to start off our program today with a masterclass led by Kevin Murphy, the artistic director for the Singers Program. Kevin has been leading this program since 2011. He's also on faculty at the University of Indiana at the Jacobs School of Music, and you can also read far more about him and the incredible work that he does in the world of singing in your program book. He is extremely sought after for vocalists and also has been such a caring and compassionate artistic leader for all of the singers that have come through the program here at the Steans Institute. Before we begin, please take a moment to silence your cell phone or to turn it off. If you happen to have an alarm on your watch, please go ahead and turn that off too, so that we can all enjoy this wonderful masterclass together. Please join me in welcoming Kevin Murphy.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. It's so great to be here. It's exciting to always have our first event among many, and I hope to see many of you here over the next few weeks. I'm so excited about the programs that we have and the amazing 15 singers from kind of all over the world that we have assembled here. It's been an amazing it's only been about 4 or 5 days of coaching already, and it seems like it's been 2 weeks already. Everybody's been working so hard, and we have a great group for you. So, what is a master class? It's such a funny word, master class. Master class can be a lot of things for many people in different situations. But what we'd like to do here is to allow you to get to know the singers better, to have them perform for you. That's why we have 2 selections from everybody. I think we'll probably get to those. And just to give you a little bit of a glimpse of the kind of work that we do. You know, being a singer already, facing the audience on stage, their instrument is their body, and it's already quite an exposed situation for a singer to present to an audience. And then to work with somebody in front of an audience is even a greater challenge. So we are so grateful to our singers who want to do this kind of work. These singers here are mostly involved in opera throughout the year, and this kind of 3.5 weeks is kind of a nice respite for them to work on other repertoire that they don't always get to do throughout the year. So thank you for sharing with us and for being here and for your enthusiasm, and we'll get started. Nick and Ting Ting.
I heard you singing a merry air. My book was closed, I read no more, watching the fire dance on the floor. I have left my book, I have left my room, for I heard you singing through the gloom. Singing and singing a merry air, lean out of the window, golden hair.
Terrific. What a way to start. Thank you. Right out of the gate. How many people know that song? Corey Ellison, of course, she knows this song. I didn't know this song until Nick brought this group. Nick, can you tell us a little bit about what's happening here and this group that you've chosen? This is such an interesting bunch of selections, how it was found, a little bit about the Joyce poetry.
Yeah, I'd love to. So this is from James Joyce chamber music. It's one of his earlier works, but it's a setting, the first setting, by a composer named Geoffrey Mullinux Palmer, who is an Irish composer, an Anglo-Irish composer, who should have been famous, but fell ill. He was even noted in New Grove in his time. For those of you who don't know, that's the main music dictionary. But he wasn't well, and so he couldn't write after some time, and he wrote this in the early 20th century, so it's right before the Irish Civil War. And what's really cool about that is Mullinux Palmer is a Catholic, Palmer is a Protestant. And so right before this sectarian civil war, we have these two writing together. And it's on quite a lot of the poetry of chamber music is quite sexual, and so it's an interesting topic for the time and place. They're interesting people, and he's a gem that should have been really well known, like a Ray Fawn Williams or a Butterworth, but got lost to time. And so this wonderful academic, Myra Tyker Russell, found it, tracked it down, and found the original manuscript, the only surviving one, in like a desk drawer of his great nephew.
So Ravinia's reviving it for everybody to hear. We'll record them all. I don't know if we'll do all 32 while we're here. How many, is it there? But it's terrific. And does anybody know why it's called chamber music, the poetry?
Yeah, so it's meant to be sort of as a throwback to Elizabethan chamber style Tetrarchian poetry. So sort of Elizabethan Shakespearean, and all very focused on love, and it's a kind of a young man's view of love, which is perfect because that's who he was when he wrote these. His brother, actually, who edited the original poems, nicknamed it. They joked that chamber music was a double entendre because it was the filthy-minded sort of poems of a young man.
Well, yeah, and reading up, when Nick presented this repertoire, and I love, part of the thing that we do here, when, maybe a lot of you don't know the process for how we choose singers here, but people submit videos, and we kind of listen to a lot of people, and then audition, and then once the people are chosen to come to this program, I ask them to submit ideas of things that they'd love to work on. And it's one of my favorite things to do, to see the kinds of things that people present and the curiosity. Instead of saying, you must sing this or whatever, sometimes I come back with suggestions, but it's so fun to see what the singers come up with. And this group has really come up with so many interesting ideas, and I know it's great for the faculty too, because we all love to discover new things. One of the things when you offered these songs, I was reading about chamber, there was an anecdote that said it was the sound of somebody going in a chamber pot. And this is the reason why it's called chamber music for Joyce. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's kind of funny anyway. Look, it's 2 pages. When you're doing a whole set, it's one thing. But 2 pages here in a standoff situation, I think one thing you could do maybe a little bit more is to maybe try for a little bit more text without disturbing the vocal line, so we can find that. And the other thing is, when it moves in a way, try to use the inflection of the text to move rather than submitting text to tempo. Think about text creating tempo. Yeah, let's try it again.
Lean out of the window, Goldenhair, I heard you singing a merry air. My book was closed, I read no more, watching the fire dance on the floor. I have left my book, I have left my room, for I heard you singing through the gloom, singing and singing a merry air. Lean out of the window, golden hair.
Yeah, terrific. And yeah. The B flat sounds good every time with you, which is awesome. When you say watching the fire dance on the floor, I have left my book, comma, I have left my room, comma, for I heard you singing. I think you can afford a little bit more time. Okay. Just to enunciate it slightly. I thought that was better. Did you understand the words a little bit more that time? Of course, second hearing, and also Joyce is sometimes hard to understand even when you're reading it and seeing the words. Sometimes you have to sit there with, but this is a simple song. Try it once more time watching the fire dance on the floor, or somewhere, well, start it from the top, and try those commas a little bit more. Look, sorry, I hear a little bit, lean out of the wind. I hear you enjoy it, and it is enjoyable. Your voice is very enjoyable. You have that tenor, Irish tenor, beautiful croony sound, which we all love. But think a little bit more text inflection, like think leading with the impetus of the music and the text first rather than the sound of your voice. The sound of your voice is always going to be there in golden. One more time.
I heard you singing a merry air. My book was closed, I read no more, watching the fire dance on the floor. I have left my book, I have left my room, for I heard you singing through the gloom. Singing and singing a merry air, lean out of the window, golden hair.
Oh, yeah. That was terrific. I thought that had everything. And I mean, it's not musically the most complex piece in the world, let's say, right? But I thought you really brought the drama to it with that. That was terrific. So he had a great B flat, so let's hear something that has a great C in it, shall we?
Let's do it.
The tenor national anthem.
That's right.
The Mount Everest of tenor. No, sorry, not to make you nervous. He's never nervous. He's got it.
Gelida manina, se la lasci riscaldar, cercar che giova, al buio non si trova. Ma per fortuna è una notte di luna, e qui la luna l'abbiamo vicina. Aspetti, signorina, le dirò con due parole chi son, chi son e che faccio, come vivo. Vuole. Chi son? Chi son? Son un poeta. Che cosa faccio? Scrivo e come vivo. Vivo. In povertà mia lieta, scialo da gran signore, rimini d'amore, per sogni, per chimere e per costella in aria. L'anima milionaria. Allora dal mio forziere ruban tutti i gioielli, due ladri agli occhi belli.
Bravo, bravo. Very beautiful. Have you sung the role?
I just did 9 of these.
He just did 9 of them, so that's something. It really makes, you can tell, you know, when you have an opportunity to be on stage. You know, I talk a lot to singers about the fact, especially students at the university, you know, there's one thing to be in the coaching room and the voice lessons, but you really learn where the rubber meets the road when you're on stage, on your feet, when a director's telling you you have to stand here. And nowadays, directors, you know, say you have to be on your, practically do a handstand sometimes, or be leaning over a chair, or laying on the floor, rolling around, all kinds of things. And you really learn how to get your stability there. And it's clear to me, like, you probably never had a problem one night with this aria, did you?
No?
No? It's good. It's good. And the C. The C's, we're so used to it, it's an option. It's an option to take the C, but most people do it unless they transpose it down a half step. I knew a story once about a tenor. He went to an audition with the conductor Eric Leinsdorf, and you know, the intro is not big. You get this for the gelida, manina. So this guy walks out on stage for Eric Leinsdorf in Europe, and the pianist plays. And he heard from the audience, "Thank you." That was it. That was the end of the audition. Not too fair. But Nick doesn't need the G. He's got the A. That's good. How was that version compared to the other 9 performances that you just did?
Good. I mean, it really good. I love singing with Ting Ting, and you know, she's right there with me. So
yes, and I noticed there was a part where you moved ahead a little bit, and Ting Ting actually followed you. This is a great thing. Sometimes singers, you know, I think it's important to, and I always try to tell this to young singers, to take the initiative and show us what you want. We love, at the piano, we love to play for a singer that knows what they want, and oh, okay, they want to go there, that's great. And Ting Ting is very flexible that way, that's great. The last C, the only C, La Speranza. What are you thinking of besides, I want this to be a good C?
I'm thinking about, I need to, from La, you need to vibrate,
yeah,
and get all the way up to Da, and not take too much time. And
not take too much time.
Not take too much time.
Okay.
And sometimes I come from more like Donizetti, Mozart land, and Puccini's a little newer to me, so
right.
I'm getting that sense.
Mm-hmm.
So being luxurious, but not being, I don't know, self-indulgent.
Okay.
And getting to it, because also people want to hear the C. They don't want to hear La, Spe, and then like a minute, like 1 second of C.
Okay.
So those things, and then also not giving it all away at the start. I want it to grow.
Okay.
So that's the most thing, trying to make that C magical.
That all makes sense to me. However, sometimes it's useful, especially one who thinks maybe technically, and especially tenors are all thinking technically at this moment. We're not actually that much interested in what you just said. No, I mean, I'm interested, they're interested in a way. But what they're really interested in is they're interested in knowing what you think as Rodolfo. And of course, we all know the C's coming. However, it would be interesting for you to not think about that part, or at least not let us think that you're thinking about that part. So close the hood. Your C works all the time anyway. So let's try a version where you're just thinking more as the stage director or the character. So if you were doing that and I'm Rodolfo, what would you tell me? Besides, I hope your C is okay.
I would tell you, you're coming on strong, but she's into it.
Okay.
So just do it. You come on strong and just show her that, like, you're literally saying, like,
What is La Speranza?
yeah, it means hope. Like, I feel like now that I've like met you, that I have hope.
That's right. If the whole world's opened up, in a sense, that's what happens with this sound. The whole world opens up. So this time, just think about that. And easy for me to say, I know, because I don't have to sing a high C, and I got a microphone here. But you lay it on the line a little bit in terms of expression, and don't worry if it goes a little astray. We're trying things out among friends here. So let's do a little bit before, maybe. Okay, the other thing, Ting Ting, the other thing is it's orchestra, so think, it says PP in the orchestra score, pianissimo, but when you've got, 85 players playing PP, it's quite loud. Give him, in a way, you've got to give him the support so he's got something to ride on, even though it's pianissimo. Okay. Well, that was exciting. That was exciting. I would try a version, just to be, for a tenor to sing a full-chested C is already a big thing in itself. So just to make it happen is going to be a big effect. What if you thought, you might scare her a little bit, and maybe be overly enthusiastic with your spit-ons. It might be a little bit much for the first date. So what about just letting it develop its own tone? I don't mean hold back, but maybe that's so enthusiastic. That might be moving towards marriage. Let's just say maybe we're gonna meet again. Try it one more time.
Okay.
But it's impressive nonetheless. Okay, I keep stopping because the next note is actually quite hard to sing after the C, so I don't want to. That was okay. What I liked when you started it. I liked that one, and I guess my point is that singers, we're always thinking so much about technique and what to do that sometimes it's hard to just trust that when you're involved, it's going to naturally change for you. So the idea of thinking about crescendoing might be too much, like because it's. It's almost like you have to be drinking in the feeling and enjoying it rather than just like giving it to the back of the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think so.
Can you just do one more just from La Sper? La Sper. Let the note develop itself naturally. Okay. I'm so glad you applauded, because if you didn't applaud, he wouldn't have believed me. They never believe you because that to him felt like he did nothing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He thinks, oh, that's not interesting, that's not impressive, but that was impressive because you were in it and it was enough and it was within your boundaries of your voice. It sounded beautiful, it sounded expressive. I love that version.
Okay.
So on your 10th performance with orchestra, that's the one. I mean, really, that was beautiful. And singing all those high C's in a row. Good for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have Laura. Lovely, lovely. What an odd little song, right? Can you tell us a little bit about this? Do you have translations? Okay, so maybe you can tell us what's going on.
Right, so Ophelia, during this whole play, this is Shakespeare's Hamlet, she slowly descends into madness, and the straw that breaks the camel's back is her father's death. So right now she's sort of coming in and out of her emotions and like her craziness in regards to everything that's happened to her and all of the characters' relationships with her.
And the grave and seeing, all that. What do you think, the wonderful thing about song singing, classical lieder and art song, I think is the interplay between piano and voice. And that's one of the things I love about it. Nikolay has played it beautifully. What do you think about this accompaniment? I mean, how does it affect the way you sing the song?
Yeah, so I think it sounds very spooky. It informs a lot of her sort of psyche, her like floatiness. She's like, her thoughts are all in the air, sort of sporadic. And the piano sort of reflects her inner monologue.
Yes, and these kind of syncopations in the left hand with these little fragments on top of maybe thought bubbles in a way, right? I think that it's unsettled, this kind of constant flowing of this syncopation. I wonder if you would both consider, the tempo marking is leicht bewegt, is it? Leicht bewegt, yeah. If it moved slightly more, what happens is it can start to sound a bit normal. And I think it shouldn't sound normal. It's a little bit off, right? And you're both very normal people, but you have to tap into this kind of, try just slightly, Nikolay, that we don't know sometimes where the beat is. And you play a little bit with the tempo, both of you. Yeah, in a way, that figure always da-dee-da-dee, da-da-dee-da-dee. It sometimes gets stuck on the eighth note. Da-dee-da-da, dee-da. So dee-da-dee, da-da-dee, da-da. Yes. Spookier. Okay, that was a beautiful opening. Somehow it seems more mystical to me that way. Maybe it's just my imagination. But this is a hard note to start on, V with an F. What are you thinking? Dynamic, sound? What are you thinking about?
Yeah, I'm thinking of sound. I'm thinking of vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it needs a little more support, but without taking away any of the spookiness.
Okay.
Just maybe the measure before. Yeah, good. And then these things maybe could be a little bit outside of tempo. It's a da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee. More playful. Right, measure of andern. Let's start right on where you sing. Okay. Wait, sing. Can you sing the first tone and just hold it? I like that sound.
Okay.
Can we start there?
Okay.
Yeah. No, I like the idea. Look, I like the expression, and I know maybe you want to take a little vibrato out for effect, but maybe add a little bit back in and do something in the middle.
Okay.
Look, that's important there. Okay. Ist tot. Tell everybody what that means.
He's dead.
He is dead. Ist tot. Sometimes, especially in German, but even in Italian and French, you can enunciate a little bit more. German could almost have its own rhythm for the T. Ist tot. Okay. Yeah? Da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da, or wherever, right before that. Yeah. Look, you have time for the t and the d, and he'll wait for you. Ist tot. Yes. This is your mad scene. He's participating with you, but he'll be with you. When you say that line, what are you thinking? Tot?
The first time, I'm feeling it's more expositional, like he's dead, and her contemplation on that. And then the second time, I imagine it's more crazy, like more opposite of what it's saying. So I imagine her being not excited, but maybe in her delusion a little.
You look excited.
Yeah.
You do look excited. I don't know. Maybe try not excited.
Okay.
Ist tot. You have time.
Okay.
I'm picking on a small point, but it's really I always want you to feel like you own it. And it's almost like, we're brought up as musicians to respect the music all the time. And so we do. And we should. And we want to do what the composer said, always. And we all want to do that. But I believe that you're respecting the composer when you almost feel as if you wrote it. Once you know what the composer meant, once it's so hard being a musician, and especially as a singer too. You see all these markings and phrases and dashes and dots over the music, and you're trying to portray something. It's impossible sometimes not to sing and play with your eyes, because we're relating to the visuals of what we've seen and but you have to digest it and then put it away. You can listen. It's interesting how you can listen to 10 recordings in a row, and it's all different, and yet they're all respecting the composer. And so it takes that kind of confidence to say, this is my way. I believe this is what the composer wants me to do, so therefore it's what I want to do, and turn it into you. So you can take the time to do those small points. You who have such a beautiful voice and are so smart, and I know you've studied the text very well and you pronounce it very well, you already have that going for you, but you just need to trust that you can always keep digging and scratching beneath the surface a little bit more. The same place? I hate to interrupt that. However, I heard such a difference in color too. It wasn't just sound, but it was really connected. And I think that's the key. And we all sense that no matter how well we know a piece, we know when somebody's talking to us and really in the text and what it's doing. There's somehow a border, there isn't a border, and a pronounced border between intention and sound. And that's that world that we want to go into. I remember once in a recital, I've experienced this a few times in my life, and I think we all have, where Heidi, my wife, and I were in Carnegie Hall listening to Radu Lupu, the great pianist. Do you all know him? His Schubert, for instance, Schubert recordings of the Opus Posthumous sonatas. But I remember just sitting there in the audience and feeling transfixed, and like it wasn't even a piano anymore. It was somehow in another dimension. And I think that's the point that we always want to get to. And when you have this kind of ethereal music, you can get that. And that was terrific. So we have enough time. I'd love to hear you sing some Mozart. Okay. Mozart and Strauss are very good friends. Strauss was so inspired by Mozart, so it's fitting to do Mozart too. It's lovely. I think Mozart, if he had just written only in his life the last 4 measures of that aria, would have been a successful composer, in my mind. Just to think, that's amazing. After all that, many of you might not know this, but it's one of the most difficult arias. It doesn't sound like it, right? But it is, and you have mastered almost all of it really, really well. You've worked hard on it. Have you performed it? Yes. You have. That's good. There's something about, what do you think about this accompaniment? It's kind of an unusual accompaniment. What do you think about those chords? I mean, he could have written bel canto. But he, what is it?
It sounds to me like a funeral marchy. It's very, I hear her heart beating.
Heart beating. I
feel
yes.
sort of like a movement to it.
That's right. It's constantly the heartbeat. I mean, so that this is impassioned.
Yeah.
Oftentimes I think sopranos, you think this should be floaty and pretty. It is floaty and pretty sometimes, but I think it's very impassioned as well. And it's very interesting that this ostinato, rhythmical ostinato, happens throughout the whole piece. But then finally, we get Tode sein. It stops. Im Tode sein. You can take time because Mozart was so brilliant with the way he used accompaniment in the orchestra to enhance the drama. So use the time. The other thing is, although you sing it beautifully, I mean, we're all taught to do our scales and sing evenly and beautifully in legato. However, I think if you think of the gesture, if violinists would bow it and take time, an oboist clarinet would take time, you shouldn't have to be more perfect than they are. So you can indulge a little bit and trust yourself. I think that we might be able to feel her more. I know you feel it, but I think giving that little bit of time, and sometimes we're always taught Mozart is beautiful and pretty and classic, which it is. However, Mozart was the most dramatic composer at the time that he wrote, and I don't think Mozart would have considered himself not dramatic, or, so you can give full passion. Let's do Fühlst du nicht? And also, this B flat, it's full of pain because you say it to him twice. Fühlst du nicht der Liebe sehnen? Fühlst du nicht der Liebe sehnen? So it's even if it's piano, it's more intense. Maybe do Fühlst du nicht der Liebe sehnen? Yeah, the top of the page.
Fühlst du nicht der Liebe sehnen?
More intense.
Fühlst du nicht
Okay, that was beautiful. It was louder though. I wonder if you could get that same quality in just a little bit softer. But
Okay.
I loved the idea.
Both softer?
No, the second one.
Okay.
And you could maybe help yourself prepare for the B flat with making sure that the G before it is very good.
Okay.
Try it one more time for you. Let's do it. The second one.
Fühlst du
You take your time here. Yeah, yes, that was beautiful. You did it a little bit. I want more though. So wird Ruhe. That's the painful note. We're so used to it, so it can easily pass by, but you really have to exploit a little bit. And then Nikolay's going to wait for you. He's a nice conductor, so he'll give you time after. Try it again, right on zo. Wait, look, Mozart loves to explore, especially in the soprano voice, the very bottom and the very top. He doesn't make you stay down one or the other, but he lets you dip down. And so this is intensity. That's nice. And then, so enjoy, but you have a beautiful lower register and you have a beautiful top register. So exploit them a little bit. Give it, show us. Wait, but look. Zo. You can stop a little until you find the sound that you want. You don't have to, the metronome's not running. Yeah, Nikolay, she didn't die yet. Keep going. Hey. Here's time. Yes, that was much better. I didn't think that was too much. Did you? Too much indulgence? Maybe some purists will. I don't know. But here, this is an embellishment, right? The main line is. So I wouldn't do them all equally. Do you know?
You would or you wouldn't?
I would not, because it's an embellishment. Otherwise, da 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 da, ya da da, ya da dee da dee da. Something like that.
Okay.
You want to try?
Mm-hmm.
Into. Very beautiful. Thank you. Great. Next we have Veronica and Marco. Lovely, both of you, beautiful, beautiful sound. These are three amazing songs, the Chansons de Bilitis. Do you want to talk a little bit about what this third song is about, and tell us a little bit about what you feel about this text?
Yeah, so this third song, these songs are memories, basically. And this third song is, my character, Bilitis, is walking through the woods of her childhood, and she's following the tracks of what she believes to be a satyr, but her lover, or her former lover, perhaps, is in the woods and says, "That's just a goat. That's just a he-goat." And he basically says, all the satyrs are dead, and nature is dead, and everything is different. And then he takes his hoe and he slices off a piece of ice from the river, and he holds it up to the sky, and they look through it. And I think it's about the change. We had some conversations about this as well. I originally perceived it as, to me, it connects a lot to nature and how nature has changed, especially with the symbolism of the satyrs, but it's also the symbolism of the loss of youth, because through these three songs, her life has basically been appended. I mean, she had this relationship with
youth and innocence, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful. What about the accompaniment? What do you think about that in relationship to the text?
Yeah, I think it's both an internal dialogue within herself. It exemplifies her own emotions, but also it's icy. You get these sparkling little ice crystals, and you hear the laughing of the naiads. So it kind of melds inner and outer life.
She could teach a song lit class. That was great. I love that. Terrific. Good. I would consider thinking about the tempo more in the quarter note rather than the eighth note or 16th note. So otherwise, there's plenty of time for indulgence and taking your time, but I think it makes it easier for the text for her, because sometimes I hear her having to shape a little bit around the tempo. So if it moves a little bit, then I think it goes along very well with the rhythm of the text. Can we try? And then the other thing, Veronica, it's lovely, it's beautiful. Veronica I'm so proud of her, not only for being here, but she's also a student of ours at the Jacobs School of Music, so we're so happy she's here. It sounds beautiful. You're so musical. It's so innately musical. I would say, of course, it's an intimate song, and the sound is piano often. When it is piano, I think this goes for all singers, and to think somehow that the energy of the way that you pronounce in the text gives you something to lean on, so you don't have to think about taking your sound down, or it also gives energy when it's naturally piano. So you don't want it to somehow just fade, but without losing the quality and the expression that you have. But just technically, a little bit more energy in the text, I think, might help. Very good. Beautiful. I think that tempo makes a big difference. It sounds more walking tempo, and we get it. You know, there's certain words that you could bring out more, like était lourde de neige fangeuse et foncée. You could dig in a little bit more, but generally very good with the French. The word from La Trace que tu vois, can you speak that text? Or maybe from, depuis 30 ans, maybe from there, just speaking.
Depuis 30 ans, il n'a pas fait un hiver aussi terrible. La trace que tu vois est scellée dans bouc.
Yes, you said it, that's the tempo that you should sing it. So that's the tempo you need to play it. Yeah? Can we do it from one more time? Les Sateos, the top of the page 12.
Les satyres et les nymphes aussi, depuis 30 ans, il n'a pas fait un hiver aussi terrible. La trace que tu vois reste dans bouc.
Yes, that's better. It moves a little bit more, and it's WC really. It's interesting to see the notation because he wrote out exactly the way you speak in a way, and sometimes when a musician is trying to figure out the rhythms and study it from a rhythmical exercise, it looks difficult, and then when you say it, you say, "Oh, that's what he wrote." It's like transcribed speech. Terrific. I want to make sure that we have enough time to hear the Rossini.
Yeah.
Okay. Non più mesta. You want to tell everybody what's going on here in this aria?
Yeah, so this is Cinderella, and basically, as I'm sure everyone knows, her life kind of sucked a lot. And this is at the very end of the opera. She's getting married, and she's really happy, and she's kind of in shock about how much everything has changed, and just very open to this new life she has.
Before we go on, when she starts this aria, is she sad?
No. Was I sad?
Kind of sad.
Okay.
You have been sad, but that's for sure, and it's a sad story. But now,
I'm married.
Yes, yeah. You got the prince, and not only that, not only you're not sad anymore, but you're quite benevolent, and you're kind, even to these people that were nasty to you. So, yes, you're recounting something, but I think there needs to be a little warmth right off the bat.
Yeah.
We, as an audience, finally feel relieved, too. There's been a lot of shenanigans throughout the night. So when this moment comes, it's so warm and wonderful, right?
Yeah.
Let's just... The beautiful open vowels. Nacque all'affanno.
Nacque all'affanno e al pianto.
Not bad. I love your sound no matter what you do. However, if you could just sing the first tone, would you? And hold the ah. For me, it's a little no, no. When you do that, I know it verges. Singers are always worried about being too bright or too dark, right? In this case, you're worried about being too bright. However, I don't find that too bright. I feel like it's open. And what happens is when you sing an ah vowel, you open yourself. And when you open yourself, you let us in. And that both sounds are very beautiful, but the second sound really lets us in more and invites us. Yeah?
Yeah. Nacque all'affanno e al pianto.
Terrific. She has such a knack for all the inventions, and I've heard her sing it quite a few times, and it always sounds different. There's always a new variation. It's exactly what Rossini wanted the singer to do, and you're always full of embellishments and fun. It's great. And who better to play it than Marco Rizello at the piano, who studied in Pesaro, right?
Yes, exactly, in Pesaro, where we had to play things by Rossini that we didn't even know existed.
Maestro Rizello on the piano, a great orchestra. Thank you both. Terrific. We have to move on because but thank you for singing both. Good. We have a little program change. We're going to, instead of starting with Leoncavallo, we're going to start with Senza Mamma from, what's it from? Suor Angelica.
Senza
How do you feel? Jennifer was a little under the weather earlier, and she wasn't sure if she was going to sing. And I said, they need to hear your voice. Well, you made me cry. I mean, this piece makes one cry, and this opera is it's just so unbelievably beautiful and painful and conflicting emotions and sadness and regret. And I hear all of that in your sound, which is beautiful. You know, I was working with another singer earlier today, and we were talking about all the things that one has to go through as an artist. You know, you feel sometimes we all have imposter syndrome, especially as performers, and we think, oh, I don't want to go on stage. So many famous singers have been pushed on stage. Pianists, Horowitz was notoriously nervous. It's a very, very personal and sometimes conflicting thing that we do. And I was reminded of a quote by my very, very wonderful friend Trish McCaffrey, who will be here later to teach, who's been an inspiration in my life. And she, before I had to move to Paris for a while, and I was working over there at the opera company, and it was a very stressful time, and she sent me this quote by Martha Graham, the dancer and choreographer, and I just thought I would read it to you today because I think it's something that we can all take something from, those of us who are trying to be artists and do creative things that put ourselves out there. This is from Martha Graham. There is a vitality, a life force and energy, a quickening that is translated through you into action, and because there is only one of you in all of time, this expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium, and it will be lost. The world will not have it. It is not your business to determine how good it is, nor how valuable, nor how it compares with other expressions. It is your business to keep it yours clearly and directly, to keep the channel open. You do not even have to believe in yourself or your work. You have to keep yourself open and aware to the urges that motivate you. Keep the channel open. No artist is pleased. There is no satisfaction whatever at any time. There is only a queer divine dissatisfaction, a blessed unrest that keeps us marching and makes us more alive than the others. And so when we don't feel like doing it, or when we think about quitting, don't quit, keep going. Now more than ever, we need this in the world. We need music. And sometimes we think, well, I'm just pursuing music. There's so many problems in the world, right? But no, music, putting this out there does a lot of good. And to hear a voice like yours does us a lot of good. So thank you for that beautiful rendition. She's going to sing one more song. Do you want to say what this is? This is, by the way, Jennifer, who I met in Mexico. I was with Corey Ellis, and we did, there's a beautiful, wonderful competition out there at Opera San Miguel, where many amazing voices come out of Mexico. And this organization raises scholarships for great singers in Mexico. And Jennifer was one of the prize winners the year I was there. And this prize, one of the prizes that we offer is a fellowship to the Steans Music Institute. So Jennifer is a recipient of that. I was moved by her voice then, and I'm moved from it now. So we're going to listen to one more. This is from Pagliacci. Right? This is Nedda. Enough said. Sometimes it's good to take a risk. And you see, what does she have to worry about, right? Okay, good. So our last person today is Joanne and Matthew.
Hello. Sure, yeah. We're going to perform Glückwunsch by Korngold.
It's hard to think of even a more touching song than this. It's unbelievable. Can you tell them the text?
Yeah, sure. The text is, Glückwunsch means happiness wish. So the text is, I wish you happiness, I wish you strength, I wish you so much strength as though you feel you could fashion spring from winter. I wish you see the sun in your gaze, even when you feel like you're about to break. I love the text so much, I had someone read it at my wedding. Yeah.
Y'all are making me cry here. You know, I'd love to hear the handle and then work on that a little bit, and then to send us out, I want you to sing that again.
Okay. Okay, sure. This is New Scenes of Joy from Handel's Theodora.
New scenes of joy come crowding
That was lovely. Thank you. Tell us about singing in English. Do you like singing in English?
I like it the most, yeah.
You like it the most?
I do.
I've never heard a singer say that before. Well, you speak English very well. Yes. I find it a difficult language to sing in sometimes. What do you notice being a proper English speaker and me being an American English speaker? What do you notice when you hear people sing in English, especially in, let's say, North America? Or do you notice a change? Does it strike you differently when you hear it?
When I hear Americans speak English,
Or sing in English?
does it feel different from the way that I sing it?
Or do you notice anything? I mean, it's like when an Italian hears somebody sing in Italian that's not quite Italian.
As a proper English speaker, I don't think I ever...
Yeah, you also, well, let's be clear here. You kind of have 2 feet in 2 countries.
Right.
She's now a Texan because she lives in Texas, and she's from Great Britain. So, yeah. So, it just strikes me as curious. I'm curious as to know what you think about when you hear people sing in English.
I mean, I so rarely hear people sing in an English accent. I never hear it in this country.
Do you want to hear that when you?
Yes. I have seen Sweeney Todd a couple of times here, and...
Good effort.
It could have been better, yeah.
Good efforts, okay, good. No, I think it's an interesting question. I mean, you would think English should be easy because it's our language. But sometimes the vowels, the way we form vowels is not always as clear as, let's say, in Italian or something. But a lot of people, I was having this discussion with somebody earlier, say it's kind of a fact that a lot of people say Italian is the best language to sing in, and we think that's the operatic language. And I think part of that is because of the way Italians speak Italian. The structure of the vowels are clear and they don't deviate. Once you get an O vowel, it's O. In North America, we say O, and we have lots of gradients of vowel. And so the voice really needs a good, clear vowel to sing. But I think you sing English beautifully, and your voice sounds very good in it. How is the tessitura for this, for you? Comfortable?
Yeah, comfy, very
Comfy.
comfy.
Good. Can we start one more time? I'm interested. Can you speak the first couple of phrases?
New scenes of joy come crowding on, while sorrow fleets away.
Right.
While sorrow.
Good.
While sorrow.
Now let's start right on the measure where you sing. Yeah.
New scenes of joy come crowding on, while sorrow fleets away. While sorrow fleets away, while sorrow fleets away.
Good. That was beautiful. Was that different than the first time? What was different?
I think I was maybe singing a bit better because I was thinking about, I was not just thinking about communicating the text, but I was thinking about the vowel sounds and making the vowel sounds clear. I was thinking about making the words clear.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you did my job I didn't have to say anything. These guys are intuitive. No, I found a much more interesting connection. I thought maybe the first time you were juicing the sound a little bit to make sound down on the bottom, and this sound, it was much clearer, and it was so interesting up and down. I thought that was amazing.
Cool.
Yeah, very good. I thought it was so musical, and I don't have anything else to say about it. I loved it. One thing I will say before we leave, I'm going to get off the stage and stop speaking, and I'm going to let them close with the Korngold again, because it is just such an amazing ode to love. This program is just so special because we all get to work with such amazing young artists that the level seems to get higher and higher every year. And I'm just inspired by their creativity, their thoughtfulness, their musicality. They're already formed artists. They're just here to get more full, and the same thing for us. I think the faculty feel like we leave the summer inspired as well, so we're all learning here. And I just want to give a shout out and thank you to all of our pianists who played today. They're amazing. These folks are here from morning till night. Not only are they playing for lessons and coachings and performing and being shoulders to cry on and people to counsel and listen to, but they're also processing tons and tons of music. And I'm glad that they have their job and I have mine. So I'm very appreciative for them and all they do. Thank you all for coming today. It's been such a great joy to have everybody here. And please come and see our concerts. You're going to hear more of this. And I'm going to leave you to reflect and leave the auditorium with Corn Gold. And I'm going to sit in the audience and listen myself. Thank you all for coming.
Der Blick